Aeneid, lines 55 to 64. They, being indignant, it is a participle, let's keep it as a participle, with a great rumble, fremont, howl around the bars of the mountain. Here we have a lovely example of a alliteration used for onomatopoetic effect there. With the magno cum murmure montis, the magno cum murmure, of course, being an ablative of manner. Adjective cum, noun, is a very distinctive feature of the ablative of manner. Aeolus sits on his high citadel, holding a scepter. Yes, it's a poetic plural. I guess it's a really big scepter. And he calms or soothes their spirits and tames their rage. We are, of course, talking about the winds. Ili here refers to the winds. And while we just saw the Hendiades in 54, Vinclis et carcere, with a prison of chains, the image that Virgil creates here is very much one of horses, race horses. And the carcere is not just prison, but it's also what the Romans referred to the starting gate at the Circus Maximus as. There is technically a AB here, but since it's verb, accusative of object, verb, accusative of object, it's not exactly the best option here. Please don't forget that tenens here is modifying Aeolus because it is a masculine and nominative and singular participle. And Kelsa here is modifying arche. Ni faciat, if he didn't do this, this should be a straight up imperfect subjunctive contrary to fact present. But Virgil makes it present tense along with the ferant and the verant present subjunctives for really vivid effect. If he didn't do this with that ni, short for nisi, indeed, the rapidi here refers to the winds again. The rapid winds would carry the sea and the lands and the vast sky secum with themselves. Reflexive pronoun. Through and sweep them verant through the air. Again, would carry, would sweep. Those two imperfect subjunctives those two present subjunctives really should be imperfect subjunctives for a contrary to fact apodosis. Would carry, would sweep. But the all-powerful Father, here of course referring to Jupiter, abdidit, it's a compound of do, but it means to cover or suppress, in black caves, dark, gloomy caves. Hoc metuens, fearing this. Metuens here, present active participle, modifying pater. Hoc here is its object, meaning the winds being sweeping throughout the lands and sea and vast sky. So fearing this, he concealed them, banished them in black caves, and placed a molem et montes. Here is our next Hendiades, literally a mound and mountains. We'd probably say a heap of mountains. In super, above. That altos here is an adjective modifying montes, so altogether, and he placed upon them in super, a heap and tall mountains, a heap of tall mountains. Hendides. And he gave it a king. Tell me more about this king. This is a king, Kui. Antecedent of queen, Kui is, of course, regem, because it's masculine and singular, and explaining who the king is. But with this subjunctive here, skiret, this is a relative clause of characteristic. What's that all about? It gave them the kind of king who would know. Not necessarily as a fact is doing it. Gave it the kind of king who would know et, who would know with a clear or certain treaty, agreement. Ablative of means, manner, something in there. Both to premo, to press, to hold firm, and to dare, the habenas laxas. Habenas here are the reins. To give the reins slack might be a good translation. Uses here is a participle modifying, which one do you want to go to? I guess probably qui, because that is also masculine and singular. Although I probably wouldn't mark you too wrong if you gave me pater all the way back in 60. This is one of those circumstantial participles. And a good translation for this is the adverbial clause, when ordered. Makes no sense here. So again, and he gave it a king who would know by a clear agreement, in a clear agreement, both to press and to give the reins lax. Usus when ordered. Ad quem, to him, to this guy, qui quod at the beginning of a sentence, the same thing as it is later. To him, that is, Aeolus, then Juno, as a supplex, as a suppliant, Juno does not like being in that position. To him, Juno, as a suppliant, used this voice. And is that, again, poetic plural? Because I guess it's a big voice. It is ablative because it's the object of utor, uti, usa, sum, which takes an ablative object. And that is one of our Friday night verbs.